Hello, welcome to RC 2001 for the Summer 1 session of 2023. I'm your instructor, Bill Torgerson. You can call me Torg. Over here on the right is our As You Learn page, and it looks just a little different. There was an update after the spring semester before we got started on Summer 1. I find that it operates very similar. It just looks different when you're looking at it. Over here on the left, I've got a script of things I want to go over that you'll need to know to complete the coursework. So this is an asynchronous online class. Asynchronous means we never meet at the same time. Your assignments are due at 11:59 p.m. on whatever date they're listed over here on the course page. If it ever says like 6 o'clock or noon, that's a mistake. There's probably 5-8 clicks when I build one of those assignments, and sometimes I forget to change the time. A time is assigned by As You Learn, and then I have to change it to 11:59 p.m. If you have any questions, I'm happy to talk to you. I will get back to you by the end of the next day at the very latest during the week. On the weekend, it could take me until Monday. So there's my email, torgersonwj@appstate.edu. The only thing that'll be different about this page is that welcome video will be up here at the top. And once we get going on the class, I might bump that welcome video underneath the announcements, but it'll be right here at the beginning. Okay, I check your email daily, and I communicate by these announcements. You'll get an email notification. So email is the best way to be in touch. So let's talk about getting started on your work and then how the class works. So there's some things you need up here, which we'll come back to. But we scroll down. Part 1 is where the assignments start. Part 1 assignments, creating community. So your very first assignment is to post an avatar image. So if you look up here in the upper right, this is my avatar image. If you already have one there, you're good and you can leave it. But you also, in this forum, you have to post a picture that's going to be right here. So if there's a bunch of people in the picture, it's going to be hard to see. And it doesn't have to be you. It can be your dog. It can be a plant in your window. But and what that does is it helps me and your classmates start to think, oh yeah, she's the one who chose her dog, her Labradoodle dog, for her avatar. So I can like associate something else with your name and your writing. Okay. So as you scroll down, these are when our assignments due. We're pretty much 4 or 5 days a week on assignments due. And then on every assignment, right here, you can click, and new window is always the thing to click. Here's the directions for how to complete the assignment. And I think you'll see that my directions are pretty detailed. Okay, so moving along, the syllabus is up here, and I wanted to just share a couple things here. There's a lot. Some of this has to be on there, and some of this you should see as like a letter from me to you about writing. So I just wanted to read some of my beliefs about writing. Everyone can learn to write more effectively. Some ways to do this are through reading and writing a lot, and by practicing in some of the same ways you'd practice as an instrument or a sport. So some people say I suck at writing, but they don't write very much. They avoid writing as much as they can. So I think with practice, which could just be waking up and writing every day, or the practice that we'll do 4 or 5 days a week in this course, that will help you get better. Number 2, just a reason that this course is relevant to everyone. I believe that writing is thinking. When you become a better writer, you become a better thinker. And so that makes this a class important to everyone. I'm not going to keep reading all these, but if you're interested and you want to read more about some of the things I believe about writing, it's right there. Here are my tips for success for the class. Number 1, don't glance at messages from me on your phone. It seems like lots of students tend to forget those messages. So we all have our own ways of working, but if I'm working on our class, I'm not going to check an email from you as I walk from my car into the high school to go to a basketball workout. I'm going to check messages from you when I'm sitting at my desk. I've switched over to an iPad to my right where I take notes. I use the app Notability. I have calendars there. So when I'm checking emails related to school, work for me, I'm doing that when I'm organized. Number 2, look ahead to the upcoming assignments to see what work will be due. Plan ahead. Some assignments will be impossible to accomplish on time if you sit down at 11 p.m. to see what is due in an hour. So just, look ahead to see what we have to do for the week. Finally, number 6, meet deadlines. You won't receive a C or worse because you read and write poorly. You'll receive a lower grade for not writing, missing deadlines, not responding to your classmates, and failing to revise based on feedback you receive. Okay, moving on. Super quick tutorial on Google Docs. So if I log into my email, there's lots of ways to get to this. I can get to Drive over here on the right. And then I can go new, and I can access things like Google Slides, which is like PowerPoint. There are spreadsheets. You're going to write in Google Docs a lot. And I'll go ahead and open one. Don't forget to title your docs up here. So that might be, about me pre-writing. And then when you share things over here on the right, you hit share. It's making me title this. I'm just going to call it pre-writing. So it made me name my doc. And then something that people forget, we want to change this to App State or anyone with the link. And then a lot of times you want to make us commenters. I much prefer this than putting my email up here. If you put my email up here, and every student does that this summer, I'll get 18 notifications from each of you, and during the semester almost 100, because that's how many students I teach. So I would rather App State University make me a commenter, and then that's the link that you'll copy and turn in. Over here on the left, I think of us as drafting in Google Docs, first drafts, revisions, and then we publish to an A-port. So maybe there'll be plenty of, I have some videos on how to set this up. Here's Parker from the spring semester. You guys are going to have different assignments than my students had during the semester. We're moving a little faster and more condensed. But Parker wrote about food blogging, and so this was his larger research project. And then this is from an online student. You're going to do a paper called Conversations in Your Major. And so she wrote about art history. And so this is her work. Okay. And now back to my script, you're reading. So some of the things at the top, there's the syllabus. Sometimes you have readings here, like you're going to read about responding to your classmates. I might as well click on that. And so these are some things that we might use during the course to read. And then you have an e-textbook. There's no textbook to buy. If you click on that, all of your textbooks for your classes will show up there. Here's our textbook. And then there'll be, when you need that, there'll be examples of how to use that. Am I going to wait for it to load? It's almost here. There it is. And so, there's your online textbook. Here's the readings over here on the right, getting closer to done. Yes, the last thing, just a little bit about me. You don't have to click on this, but if you wanted to learn more about me, you're going to write an About Me page. Yours doesn't have to be as long as mine. Getting to be a little bit older picture. Father's Day, my daughters bought me a lefty shirt. I'm a lefty. They bought me some basketball cards. Both my girls play basketball. So this is Charlotte, who will be a senior. This is Izzy, who will be a sophomore at Watauga High School here in Boone. I started as a 7th grade English teacher and a head boys basketball coach at a high school in 1995. I ended up wanting to write. I went to graduate school twice. I taught at St. John's University in New York City for 11 years. I always wanted to get to the mountains. I met my wife, who is a Robertson graduate from Asheville, and we always wanted to get to the mountains. So I spent about 10 years as my kids were growing up, when they were younger and before they were born, writing. Several of my books have been published. Here's a couple of those titles. I also made some documentary films and did some work with film festivals. And then this is about my family, and that's getting to be a really old picture, some old pictures of the Torgs. This is when we lived in New York City. All right, so that's me. There's the introduction to the class, 9 minutes and 18 seconds on this video, not too bad. Again, if you feel like I forgot something or you feel confused when you're looking at our assignments one more time, just scroll down and get starting working. There's the date, due 5:30. All right. Look forward to working with you this course.